Everybody, Rosematter here, and welcome to part 11 of my Danganronpa, another Let's Play. We are going to conclude the third class trial, and so far it's been surprisingly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot harder, but we still have another who knows how long to go. Things could get a lot more complicated. So far it seems that the culprit is Kinji. Now the big question is, was Kinji working alone or was he working with an accomplice like usually happens in third cases? We're gonna find out. I'm just surprised that I was actually right about that. I was leaning towards, as we were getting more into it, I was leaning more towards maybe Teruya or Haru for some reason being the culprits, but they could still play a part in it. Those are still kind of my suspects as like potential accomplices. So anyway, let's get back into it. Let's conclude this class trial and let's see the details and find out what happens next. Alright, so we'll go over the truth bullets really quick for the ones that have not been used yet. Okay, did we get into Yamaguchi's body? Maybe. The bloodbath we have looked into Kinjo being attacked. Now that's a question I have, is how the room got locked, how the science lab got locked from the inside. The blood wasn't sticky, it was almost dry and hardened. In other words, it's blood that has been spilled for quite some time. Okay, well that's obviously going to have something to do with Yamaguchi. So the white coat was used to wipe up the blood from the art room. The blood tarp was used to try and get the blood to not spill from being wrapped around the weapon. Inori's body, I think we've pretty much got that figured out. This whole thing about the wooden board, like how did he manage to do that? That's why I'm thinking maybe there was an accomplice. And then there's also Makaru's testimony where she said her right hand. So she seems to know something. She has not specified that yet, but I'm guessing either she caused damage to somebody's hand, Kinji's hand, maybe somebody else's hand, or she noticed that there was maybe she was fighting him as she was getting chloroformed and, I don't know, attacked him, bit him, something. I don't think she'd be able to bite him, right? Maybe she like scratched him. Yeah, I can't believe I missed this last time. Like, that should have been the big thing there, where Kinjo talked about how he was attacked at night. He had already found Yamaguchi's body. I'm like, derp. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Let's continue this. I'm really excited to see how this one concludes. If it's going to be just like a crazy, like, whoa, it turns out somebody else is involved, or something we weren't expecting. Kinji Uhara, was it you? Wait a minute, Uhara? This guy? Can you elaborate why it's me? I'm not entirely convinced yet, but according to Kinjo, the killer said contradictory things. That alibi, if you're the one who said contradictions with your words without an alibi, there's only you, Uhara. Contradictory words? When did Uhara-kun say those? Do you guys remember what Uhara said moments ago? Well, for me it'd be a week ago, but he said after Ohara was attacked by the criminal in the middle of the night, the cell phone he had before then disappeared. However, the statement doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, let me just think. Okay, so it was last night. So the cell phone was used for creating the thing for Inari. Is that what he's saying for Kanata? Because that would have had to been set up at nighttime. It doesn't make sense? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not convinced about this. It's just speculation, but I couldn't think of anything else other than this as contradictory words. I'll explain so everybody can understand. First, it was 8:40 p.m. yesterday that the culprit killed Yamaguchi, right? If that's the case, the culprit would have started destroying evidence, such as hiding the spills or wiping the blood. And at this point, Inori must have been held in the hands of the culprit as well. Do you guys remember? Inori's white coat was used. Okay, for wiping the blood of Yamaguchi. Looking at this, it'd be no exaggeration to say Inori and Yamaguchi were both aimed for at the same time. And everyone knows how Inori died, right? Inori died from a remote murder using a mobile phone's alarm. She was killed in a thoroughly planned crime. Just by seeing that they had already removed the white coat and used it to wipe Yamaguchi's blood, it was a bold move that was possible because everything was planned and prepared. To summarize this, they killed Yamaguchi first with full preparation, brought Inori into the trick just as planned. It must be said everything was going according to their plan. All the preparations were completed since the beginning of the time when they were attacked. Otherwise, they would have gambled on remaining risks. Indeed, after all the preparations. But then what? What's weird about that is because they needed the cell phone to set it up, right? Don't you realize? Uhara said the cell phone was stolen in the middle of the night. Could the perpetrator, who acted so thoroughly and deliberately, carry out such a bold action with a mobile phone not in hand? Wait a minute. As Maeda said, at the time of killing Inori that way and attacking from yesterday at night, it must be said they already devised a trick using the mobile phone. If they didn't have a cell phone in hand, you'd think and act first and then attack Uhara without knowing whether or not it would succeed and take their cell phone. However, the cell phone was in Uhara's possession since he found it. So, how did the killer steal the phone from Uhara? It was either a pre-raid or it was never done in the first place. The answer to this question is very simple. If you were Uhara, you would have been able to execute the plan without any difficulty. Uhara did something like this? You are the culprit who killed Inori and Yamaguchi? Ha. Ooh, ha 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 ha, well, alright, what? What now? What's so funny? No, I apologize, but isn't that a little funny? I'm a murderer who believes in God and tells the teachings of the Father? This is outrageous. Hey, I mean, who's never heard of a religious person being a hypocrite before? That couldn't possibly be the case. And maybe he sees it as like, for the greater good, where he's like, I don't know, spread the word of God, and I can't be locked up in here. I will do more good out there than in here, so I must kill you people for the greater good. So Uhara-kun isn't the killer? He's not? Right? Wow, imagine just being like, but I'm a priest, so clearly I couldn't have done it. Okay. Of course I'm not the culprit. If I say that, would you believe me? Huh? According to your reasoning so far, I'm the only one who meets the conditions of being the culprit, but I can't believe you guys just by saying that I'm the culprit in such a situation. Well, I'm 99.99% certain that you are the culprit. And then, can I prove myself with the remaining 0.01%? What? I said according to your reasoning, which means if your reasoning's wrong, I will not become the culprit either. Are you saying you have room to argue with? Of course. From now on, let me prove my innocence by showing your reasoning is wrong. Are you prepared? The reason you point to me as the culprit is because I don't have an alibi at the time of the crime and at nighttime, and the contradictory words about the cell phone, correct? There's nothing I can say about an alibi, but it's nothing but an assertion that you say I'm the culprit, which is that. So let me show you why it's not strange at all if I had my phone stolen that night. Okay, we got 4 here. Bloody Locker, Makaro's testimony, Inori's body, and the library bloodbath. Well, some of those have already been used. Your reasoning is well put. But is that really— oh, right, the right answer. That's right, I have to do that. Didn't you know the premise is wrong? For example, would Yamaguchi really be dead at 8:40 in the evening? That was over already. Yamaguchi's irrelevant, because the reason why Uhara is suspected is because by evening, Inori was already captured. It doesn't make sense that the cell phone was removed after nighttime. Would the killer who worked so much act rashly without preparation? I'm telling you before that. When Yamaguchi or Inori were caught at 8:40 in the evening means it was the next morning that we found the body. If I left the body there until then, wouldn't it have been possible to find it? Oh, even at 8:40 in the evening, a lot of hours, doesn't make sense. Nobody goes to the library and the art room until the morning after. Oh no. So this is what Oharu's saying. In other words, if Yamaguchi died at 8:40 and Inori was captured, someone could have found the body until the morning. Oh, well that's easy. The locker. He put it in the locker. That's why there's blood in it. He's not entirely mistaken. No matter how late the night was, the three of them, Makaru, Kinjo, and Uhara, decided to not follow the rules, so they were able to walk freely. Even if they were attacked because of this, according to their testimony, they said they were attacked at night. At 8:40 p.m., more than 1 hour remained until nighttime officially began. Does it make sense that no other person, other than Kinjo and Makaru, couldn't find Yamaguchi or Inori? No, you don't have to think that much about the time of death. This is Uhara's argument to escape doubt. They could put a body somewhere. Okay, they're just spelling it out. Without being noticed by anyone before the attack. Okay. Damn, it was right towards the end, too, so I'm gonna have to, like... let's just speed run this. Let's go. I just gotta be careful that I'm paying attention here, so it's not that one. There it is. He left the corpse alone? Do you really believe that? Do you have any evidence to deny this? Of course. Remember the locker where Makaru was kept inside? Inside the locker was covered in blood. Makaru didn't bleed, so what's the reason for this? And as Makaru said earlier, she said the method they used was chloroform, so they didn't bleed from any injury. Was it just a matter of, like, I don't know, did Kinji have some weird kind of, like, thing about hurting a woman? Like, he had no problem doing that to Kinjo, but, like, maybe he's just like, oh, I'll just use chloroform because I can't attack a woman. If that's the case, someone else was in there inside, dropping blood. That's right, Yamaguchi's corpse must have been inside the locker when he died recently, and then the killer stunned Makaru and Kinjo, the only eyes who wandered around nighttime. Yeah, that was a pretty lame excuse, or that was a pretty lame comeback there, Kinji. I'm still wondering if Kinji does have somebody working with him, and if so, like, how he could convince somebody to help him out, especially because only the killer is the one who gets to get away with it. Or maybe Kinji's the accomplice, and somebody has blackmail on him or something? Maybe it's got something to do with the, what you desire most? Because that's right, they brought that up, so maybe that's the thing that kind of, like, I wonder what Kinji desires most. So maybe somebody found out and blackmailed him, or he blackmailed somebody else, or convinced somebody else? I don't know. He could be working on his own, but... That's it. Then after attacking Makaru, they moved Yamaguchi's body to the library and put Makaru in his place, right? To be precise, they struck Makaru ahead of me and stunned her, then moved the corpse to the library, which made me off guard. This is the order in which they were attacked, capturing Inori, killing Yamaguchi, and stuns Makaru. The last step was aimed at me. So, what do you think now, Uhara? The reasoning we made in front of us has fundamentally no issues. No matter what excuses you try to argue, it will be the same. It's really hard to believe it, but if you're the real culprit, don't drag this so long and confess. Doubting any more like this is something that I don't want to do anymore. As Maeda says, it's unbelievable that this guy's the culprit. A quiet, devout believer of God, becoming a murderer, and killed 2 people? Yeah, why was there... Well, that's the thing, is like, why was there a reason to kill 2? Was it just to throw us off? And like... Because double the kills equals double the risk, but... There must be a reason for it. There's no evidence, no excuse for reasoning about his usual actions or being a Christian. I was like, that's the lamest excuse. It's like, oh, I'm a good Christian priest. I could possibly not do anything wrong, because that's never happened in the history of ever. We just have to focus on picking out one person who could be seen as the culprit. Then again, I do say that Kinjo is unlikely to kill because he's a cop. Ha, that's pretty bad reasoning. But he seems very all about, like, if he committed a crime, he would see himself as, like, not worthy of living. Or maybe he's just a big hypocrite, and he would see it for himself as, like, he's exempt from it. Oh, so what are you gonna do, murderer? Uhara. Yes, I apologize. I was wrong. Are you admitting it? No, I doubted your reasoning, but the time when Yamaguchi died and the time difference tricks seem to be all correct. So according to that reasoning, Uhara's the only one who remains as the culprit. Definitely not. Everybody has alibis except for me, Makaru, and Kinjo, but because I'm the one who kept the cell phone, I'm being mistaken for the culprit. What do you mean by mistaken? You're the culprit. There's nothing to doubt, and you have nothing else to say. Are you still unaware of all the conditions that could be committed while all of them are pointing at you? I am aware that I'm the only one who meets the criminal's conditions. Among the living people, that is. Oh, shit! Is he saying that Yamaguchi or Inori, like, attacked each other? Ho ho. What? This guy, how long are you going to force this? The idea of little baby Inori attacking Yamaguchi is kind of hilarious. And I don't want to believe that big sweet bean Yamaguchi would ever go after little sweet bean Inori. I refuse. This is slander. No. What is being forced here is that I'm the culprit, but I'm not. But because you guys are so driven by this, it's no wonder you're trying to desperately get me to accept these charges, aren't you? If that's the case, I'll have to point to myself being innocent as the blackened, and everyone will die together. To be so stubborn like that, so you're not the culprit, is that it? You fool, they're trying to trick us like that. He's actually going about the right way instead of like yelling, and he's being cool about it. And he's making people doubt, because usually the more people fight and kick back, like Mitch did, right? Or like Akane was acting kind of weird even though she wasn't the one who actually killed. But yeah, he's doing it the right way. We can't be sure of that. I'm not convinced Uhara is the culprit at all. You guys are stupid. What? What did you just say? All the evidence points to Uhara as the culprit, and all the tricks are undeniable. Why is Uhara still fighting? Is there something that to make any conclusive objection? Now, there still remains one path to make you consider me not being the culprit. I hope after this, it will change your mind. Okay, I have to remember, too, that I could do that, the thing about, like, taking someone else's yellow, thing. Among the living people, what do you mean? Think carefully, there must have been someone who could commit the crime besides me. For example, Kanata Inori, I mean. That is hilarious to think about. Inori is dead, though. Why did the culprit kill 2 people in the first place? Doesn't that feel odd? This is my idea. Inori kills Yamaguchi, and then she kills herself. Are you serious, stupid? Do you really think that makes sense? Oh, it doesn't make sense. Inori's also capable of committing a series of crimes. You'd know that best. Obviously, there's no alibi, but in order to tape yourself and die by dropping a cell phone, right? Suicide doesn't seem possible. Then Inori is not the culprit? In other words, it's like this. Inori killed Yamaguchi at 8:40. And after hiding Yamaguchi in the locker, she could never. She went through the hallway at night. I was ambushed and attacked after the other victim. For the last act, she went to the science lab she had set up, tied herself up, and waited for the alarm to go off. This is insane. What? What? Uhara claims it was Inori who killed Yamaguchi. Inori who disappeared since yesterday at night. It is possible to commit the crime. But is Inori really the culprit? After killing Yamaguchi, did she also commit suicide? That can't be true. The conclusive evidence that makes Inori unable to commit this act. It's definitely something somebody told me. Okay, so that's going to be Tyra's thing, so I just have to use it at the right time, her testimony. If Inori's the culprit, finishing everything and then going to end with her death, there seems to be room for an objection there. Think carefully. Okay, so I know which thing to use. I just have to figure out which section to use it at. Oh, it could be Kinjo attacked as well, because he told me something. Oh boy. I don't think we've used her testimony yet. She said something about, like, she tried to go to the science lab, but, like, she couldn't get in. Ah, okay. It could be that. Oh, maybe the science lab one? Oh my god, that was right? Okay, cool. Cool. That was a total guess. Ohara, that's wrong. Your rebuttal's full of contradictions. Is it, Maeda? Why is that? All of you were in the dormitory at nighttime, and attacking Kinjo, Makaru, and me would not have been impossible for Inori. That's right! Yeah, because she said she went to the science lab. As you say, Inori killed Yamaguchi, attacked Makaru, Kinjo, and Ohara, finished all the work including the blood transfusion packs, and finally went to the science lab to prepare to commit suicide, right? Yes, and no one saw it, which means you can't deny Inori's crime. There are no means, am I correct? No, they saw it. The reason why Inori can't be the culprit is because somebody saw it. Oh man, he's trying so hard. He thought that he had everything all figured out. And then Akane, he's gonna bring this whole thing down. What? He didn't account for that. Taira, you must have been around that time, right? By the science room, just before nighttime. You said the door didn't open. Oh, yes, the door didn't open. It's weird, right? According to Ohara's words, Inori at that time, after moving Yamaguchi's corpse and attacking Kinjo, you need to be prepared, but why didn't the science lab door open? So why was Akane there? Did she explain why she was there? That's right, the answer will come out eventually, because Inori was already tied up at the science lab at the time. But, of course, it would be impossible to open the door from the outside, if you wanted to walk through the entrance. If Inori was committing a crime from outside at the time, the science lab had already been collapsed. It'd be a huge contradiction. That's something we have to figure out still. I'm like, how did he set up that, that the science lab was locked from the inside? Wait a minute. What do you think, Ohara? Can you still say Inori could commit the crime? Wait, and listen, just because the science lab was locked, doesn't it mean it was locked with a latch? When Taira tried to enter, the door could have been locked with the lock function attached to the door itself. Oh my, but then what about this? As a result of my investigation, I found out the door to the science lab did not have a lock function. There's no space to apply a key lock in the first place. It's all over, Ohara Kinji. No further rebuttals possible. Now, confess in good faith. Ah, confess. Confession. Is that it? That can't be it. We just started. Ohara, please stop and admit it already. Heh. Oh, fuck. Woo! Okay. Okay. I don't think he has an accomplice. I think he did it himself. That is a scary-ass face. Ohara? Why? Why are you... I thought I was lucky I defeated Tsurugi Kinjo and Makaru Rei, but why? Why can trash without talent like you drive me to this point? Wow! This is happening so fast. Like, the last trial was so long. It was like 3 hours. Over 3 hours, I think. Ohara, you know, your character collapsed. Ohara, calm down a little. It's been a while since we've had a good blackened freakout. It hasn't happened. Oh, shut up, you bitches. This trash, this bitch broke down my plan simply because you tried to open the damn door to the science lab. Eek. It's all over. I just heard you loud and clear. It doesn't matter if it's a confession, right? So, you came down in the end from mental breakdown? It's pathetic. Shut up, shut up, shut up! I'm still here. Wait. Wait and see. That, you, yes, that's it. That's it. I still need proof. There's no evidence. If I'm the culprit, show me the evidence. Now here's the thing, you don't need concrete evidence. All you have to do is just have everybody think that you're the culprit enough that we all vote for you. Come on now, you're the only one who doesn't have an alibi, right? Shut up, you X-worth bastard. Do you want to get stuck to the ground from head to toe, huh? Has he always been like this, or did he just lose his mind after being stuck here? Why did you suddenly turn into such a vile criminal? No, like a criminal. He is a criminal, so you won't admit it, even though you're the only one who could do this. Just ignore him and vote, will you? If you look at what Haru just said, what's the point of incapacitating Kinjo and Makaru? This is almost like a confession, right? I'll kill you. I'm gonna kill the bastards who are going to vote right now, treating me as a criminal, without evidence. You're like thinking that this is all done. This does feel pretty quick. What do we do? Ohara, if I show you the evidence, are you going to finally admit it? Oh, I'll admit it. If there's evidence like that. Not speculative remarks or alibi blanks. Real physical evidence, you bastard. There might be. What? Maeda, you know this, but it's only going to be slower if you let him catch the holes with poor evidence. Unfortunately, I can't help you here because I have nothing more to come up with. Will you be okay? Even if I completely whiff this, he said he's gonna kill everybody. He's lost his mind. Come on, he's the culprit, guys. I don't even need to do this. It's okay, Uhara. Uhara, who's not sane, is just going to forcefully scream against the opponent. I'll make sure to present the proof correctly, and then you'll finally admit it. Don't joke around, Yuki Maeda. You're just a lucky and competent human being. I like this. Like with Mitch, it was more like pleading. It's like we've got the levels of the cycles of grief, or what is it? The oh my gosh, I should know this. It's the stages of grief. So like with Mitch, it was bargaining and denial. With Ayame, it was acceptance. This guy, it's anger. Ohara, from now on, I'll show you conclusive evidence you are the culprit of this case. It may be a little sloppy, but if my predictions are correct, you'll have no other choice but to admit it. I love that it's the priest that's having, like, the villain breakdown. It's great. He just got interesting, and right as he's about to die, haha, is this fun for you? Do it then. Do whatever you want. If it's evidence or unreasonableness, I'll make you a criminal and execute you myself for making fun of an innocent person. Uhara's certainly not sane right now. About this evidence, I can't say for sure, but I do believe, not only in me, but I believe in my friends, too. Let's exercise this devil. Actually, hopefully it will give me the correct thing, because... Okay, that's right. Shift to reload. Okay. This feels so sudden. I was completely wrong about there being an accomplice. This is actually probably one of the more straightforward ones so far. I love that he's just straight up being like, I'm gonna kill you. This is great. Oh no, I'm not doing so well. Am I actually gonna fail this? It's down to the wire here, folks. Uh-oh. Shift. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that was really quick. That was really okay. Oh, Makaru's last trump card. Makaru's last trump card. Oh my god, that was... Why did I almost fucked that up right at the end. Oh my god. Wow. That's right. Forgot about that. Ohara, unfortunately for you, there's already clear evidence of your crime. You can only be said to be the culprit with this conclusive physical evidence. What? Phuh, there's nothing like that. What is that, Maeda-kun? That's, unfortunately, I do not know. Huh? Stop joking around. However, Makaru knows it. Makaru? Hold on, where does this confirmation come from? You aren't trying to rely on my reasoning, are you? Makaru, you told me, didn't you? No matter what happens, you have an insurance to cover her life. When the aspect of the trial remains unsolved, there's a corner with no answer, you'll show us the last piece of evidence. Insurance? Maybe there's something only that woman knows. It's a little frustrating, but I know this isn't the time. I'll stay out of this. Wait a minute, I did in fact say that to the incompetent, but it's not like that. The killer's already cornered and running crazy, right? Why do you think I'm gonna let you know? Oh my god, stop being this way. This woman doesn't even want to cooperate in this situation? Look at us, Makaru. We're believing in you. So, are you finished then? It's over. After all, Maeda's just been bluffing and throwing unfounded accusations. Your proof is a Makaru that doesn't even want to cooperate? This is great. She knows nothing. There's no physical evidence that I'm the culprit. Me? Oh, that's it. We're trying to appeal to her humanity. That didn't work, but saying she doesn't know anything, that's the thing. She's like, oh, you just activated my trump card. Me? Not know anything? Huh? Makaru? Are you angry? So there we go. That's how we get her to cooperate. Just say that she doesn't know. Be like, oh, you probably aren't telling us because you just don't know. That's okay. Nasty pig killer. Where do you want your funeral? Can you tell me? Are you going to try provocation at this stage? Fine, I'll write your will then. It doesn't matter if I vote for Kinji Uhara and end the trial as it is, but if I do, it feels like I'm just being beaten. Whatever you talking about? Maybe you all remember, when I was investigating after the incident, I asked all of you to show me your right hand. Yeah, you... Huh? To everyone? You did, but I didn't know the meaning of it. You did that strange act to all of us? So she even did it to Kinji, huh? Wait, I didn't know about this. You didn't do that to me, right? You woke up late. I didn't have a chance to do that. Well, there are some mysteries that were solved before that. So she knew. She did know from the beginning. After asking for my right hand, she held me tight, as if wrapping my right hand. Was there something about that? I was surprised. I wasn't really sure what it was. I didn't think she was that kind of person, but what's up with that? The reason I did that was to check the back of your right hand. The reason I wrapped it with my hand was because I needed darkness. Oh. Darkness? If you're wondering what I'm talking about, why don't you all give it a try? Look at the dark side by covering the back of your right hand. It's all clear. Even if you ask me to wrap it up, it's just the back of my hand. What do you expect to see? Well, I definitely told you to try it. Everyone. Oh, why are you staying still, Kinji Uhara? Uhara? Hey, stay still. Let me go. Go away. Oh, hey, what the hell is this on the back of your hand? I don't know. I don't know anything. Oh, please, you must know. What you got there is luminous paint. Luminous paint? I was marked by you? Don't joke around. You and I never met at the time of the crime. There wouldn't have been a time to be marked like this. Oh my, why are you saying that? You definitely met with me, right? When you put me to sleep with chloroform. I don't know what you're talking about, so it seems you think I'm the culprit. Is that it? And even if that was the case, isn't it obvious the killer attacked you? But here you are just claiming you've used luminous paint in my hand, just because that's your own opinion? I'm sorry, Makaru, but this isn't possible without knowing in advance that you'll be attacked. This is why you guys are so pathetic. Did you think I wasn't prepared for anything, going as usual every night? Prepared? No way. The one who put this luminous paint? It was you? That's right. Do you think I'm stupid enough that I would trust you guys when I don't know the outcome? Before Maki Kyoka died, I was always prepared for anything. Well, besides the glowing paint, I've prepared other tricks. I'm a woman and have no idea who and when someone will come at me. So what she's also saying is like, nobody better come fuck with me or try and kill me because I'll make sure that I'll pin you as the killer, even if I die. So I tried to use glowing paint only in the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario? Are you saying even if you die, due to the glowing paint, we could find out who did it? Is that what you mean? By the way, Makaru's selection of words, it feels a little erotic. Fortunately, I only fainted this time, but my life was in danger. Should I say that I was lucky? I was trying to use the luminous paint for the purpose of something else, like a dying message, but I could live like this and drive off the killer's smug face with one sentence. But even so, at some points I could have... You're an idiot, aren't you? If you're curious, you'd better think about which hand you put chloroform in my mouth. Ugh. In other words, Makaru said the killer put his hand on her mouth, meaning you applied the glowing paint before fainting, just before you lost consciousness. It's like when if women get attacked, sometimes they'll like take their fingernails and they'll dig to try and get like DNA, you know, from the killer. Smart. I agree with her. Like, as a woman, unfortunately, you have to be cautious about that and prepared that something might happen to you. But damn, she's scary. Yeah, Makaru, what a scary person. What do you think? Are you still going to hit the ball, killer? Not yet. All she said is just lies, because I just rubbed this glowing paint by myself yesterday. It has nothing to do with this now. This woman's the culprit. You just said something you don't know about with your own mouth just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. Don't joke. I'm not the culprit. I'm not the culprit, okay? Uhara, stop it now. It's already over. Don't make me laugh. There's no one on your side already, Yuhara. Speaking any more than this, it's nothing more than a futile effort. If you're still not willing to admit it, I'll organize the case from the beginning and let you admit. You'll have no choice but to admit it. Man, I can't get over how fast this was. This was like an hour and a half long. Wild. If I had known, I would have put it all together in one episode, but I thought it was going to be a long one. Okay. Other than almost, like, completely fucking it up at the end, I did okay, actually, with this one. Okay, so this is going to be, so first attacked her, and then that was Yamaguchi. I'm guessing it's this one. Okay, and then that's going to be electrocuting her. Oh. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, then this is going to be Makaru being attacked. So I guess he must have been lying about being technologically not... Maybe they taught him about this, but... Okay, blood transfusion. Nope, not yet. Okay. That's gonna be the next page. Aw, they did not deserve that. Poor Inori, poor Yamaguchi. Inori's is the worst, because, like, she was waiting for, like, hours before she got electrocuted, just knowing something was going to happen to her. At least with Yamaguchi, it was, like, it was over quick, you know? Didn't even know what was going to happen, but with Kanata, she's just waiting and waiting and waiting. First, the start of the case began when the criminal attacked Yamaguchi and Inori. I don't know why the two were targeted by the culprits. Alright, especially Yamaguchi. Inori, easy, because, like, she's small, she's always in the same place, it'd be easy to pinpoint. Like, that was ballsy of him to go after the biggest guy. But the killer must have taken Yamaguchi by some means first. Then they took him to the art room and sliced Yamaguchi's neck. The time this took place was at 8:40, which is also listed in the Monokuma file. However, this was not at 8:40 a.m., it was last night at 8:40 p.m. In other words, the killer committed a bold crime while we were still roaming around the place. Afterwards, the killer put the corpse in a locker in the art room to hide Yamaguchi's body. The culprit who succeeded in killing Yamaguchi immediately focused his efforts on dealing with the crime scene. They opened up the tarp that prevented blood from splattering, cleaned up the murder weapon, used as the intake, and wiped the blood with Inori's white coat that had been removed beforehand. However, while using the tarp, a small hole was left due to the killer's mistake. The white coat was not properly greased. So normally, I said about how, like, it's crazy that he must have been strapped for time, considering that they just dumped the tarp and the jacket in the trash bin in the art room instead of, like, trying to hide it a little bit better, not taking it down to the trash room, nothing, not trying to hide it somewhere else. Thanks to this, it cleaned a lot of circumstances surrounding the method of disposal. Yeah, sparkle shiny. Anyway, as the art room when Yamaguchi was killed became clean, this time they devised a trick to kill a second victim, Inori. So I'm guessing it was literally just kill two people just to make it more confusing. That's right, it involves the phone and stun gun. It was a method of electrocuting by drowning in water. The stun gun at a predetermined time using a vibration function. Okay, at least she was asleep. Okay. So he must have knocked her out with chloroform too. That makes me feel a little bit better, but she was still screaming as she was electrocuted. So she did feel it. To do this, the killer went to the science lab and first fixed Inori's whole body with tape to keep them from moving. Plus, like, chloroform, I don't know how long it keeps you knocked out for. I don't know if it's hours and hours. Makaru was knocked out for a while. Anyway, The water from the sink in the science lab was turned to the maximum capacity. After a few hours in that state, the science lab was overflowing with water like a bathhouse. They never went into how he sealed up the room, though, with the piece of board. There's one more thing. The killer connected the phone to the stun gun and placed it at an angle as if it were to fall from the desk. They set the phone alarm to 8:30 a.m. When that happened, the alarm turns on the next morning, and the phone makes a vibration movement in minutes. The phone starts to fall off alongside with the stun gun because of the vibration. When everything was set in stone, the killer locked the door with the latch so no one could interfere with the tricks arranged in the lab. Oh, I guess he was just able to do it from the outside? Okay. After everything was done, the killer probably thought most of them, including me, wouldn't come out of their private rooms because it was nighttime hours. But the problem was Kinjo and Makaru went around openly at nighttime. As long as they thought the time when the crime was done in the morning, and the trick that everything was set in advance was discovered in the middle of the night, everything would be over for them. So the killer thought to keep Kinjo and Makaru from moving until the morning after. First, the killer attacked Makaru with chloroform and brought her into the art room. They took out Yamaguchi's body that had been in the locker until then, and put Makaru inside instead. And then Yamaguchi's body was used as bait to lure Kinjo. The killer put Yamaguchi's corpse in the library, made some extra work to make Kinjo discover the body, and then attacked Kinjo from behind in a vigilant gap. When Kinjo and Makaru were successfully disabled and nobody could interfere, the killer took a breather and started one last final act. Once the morning was near, the killer went to the infirmary and packed a large amount of blood transfusion packs. And spread them in Yamaguchi's body to make it look like he had just died and the bleeding was fresh. And then they sprinkled a certain amount of blood on themselves to make it look like they were ambushed by the killer. In the morning after last night, so many things happening at once, we noticed a few people were missing, so we moved to search for them in each room of the school. Then we met up with the killer, who was lying down near the stairs. After we divided it into two groups, we decided to search the second and third floors. And the search on the second floor found the fallen Kinjo. The search on the third floor found a trapped Makaru. Afterwards, while a member on the third floor checks for an abnormality in the science lab and tries to open the door, the mobile phone and the stun gun hit the water at the killer's preset time. Into the water, killing Inori on the spot. Soon after, we managed to open the door to the science lab. At a timing that couldn't be more ideal for the killer, Inori's body and Yamaguchi's body were found almost simultaneously. The one who had done a formidable job, who killed 2 people overnight, plus injured 2 people. The identity of this heinous and cruel criminal. It's none other than you, Kinji Uhara. Alright, now let's get to the reasoning. Let's get to why. Was he always like this, or did something set him off? There's no place to run anymore, Uhara. Uhara? Excellent. As Maeda said, no matter how badly it was, this is it. It seems this was my limit. What? All of a sudden, he came back to normal. Was that it? He must have been acting like Hatano. That means, did you just admit it? That you're the culprit? Yeah, I am. I am the culprit. Yay, I didn't fail this time. Give me them mono coins. Well, now I've been watching everything, it seems it's okay to say you've made a decision at this point. This time, no matter how much I play the role of the judge, I'm really sad because I seem to have been too much of a dead weight. How to get rid of this anger? It's voting time of anger. Because this happened, you guys will now have to vote with the switch in front of you. The result of this voting, who will become the blackened? Will your answer be the correct one or the wrong one? Now, what's it gonna be? By the way, oh, Wait, why did it... Ah! That happens sometimes. I didn't even hit anything and it just skipped it. Oh well. Ah, yes. As for the result of your vote, your choice was... The correct answer, the identity of the blackened who killed 2 people, Miss Inori and Yamaguchi-kun, was Kinji Uhara. What is it? Did someone think I was going to say those lines before voting? Uhara-kun. From the second half of the trial, we've been almost certain of it, I guess. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought that there was going to be some crazy twist at the end, that it was somebody else, or he was working with somebody, or somebody was working with him, but nope. Why? Why did you kill them? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a little late for that. You're sorry? There's no excuse? Is that all you have to say after killing someone? Plus, killing 2 of our group. Do you know that makes you a serial killer? Weren't you very agitated and arguing back a little while ago, Uhara? Why did you suddenly become so quiet? I only thought that more talk would delay the inevitable. I had a reason to live and survive this trial, even if I had to do that sin. That's right, if we found out that you did the murder, you're going to die. He already knew that the moment he was caught. No, that's not the reason I did it. That's not it? Your motive? Was there something else? Motive. Higa murdered to get out and escape. Tamori was the secret note. Does that mean the original motive of all these events is also the same this time? I mean, everybody wants to get out to escape. That's everybody's core reason for wanting to do this. Was it the motive this time? That thing you desperately wanted in that video? And that you wished for? You mean you had a wish that you wanted to get by killing 2 people? Wrong. There were a few things that I must correct you before that. You're right about everything. The plan and the killings are correct, but... I didn't mean to kill 2 people from the start. Oh, huh? You may look at this as an excuse, but only then that person's death would become colorless, so let me speak. Maeda, your reasoning is wrong. The only person I was trying to kill was Kanata Inori. You did it in the end. It was too late and also too clumsy to plan serial killings. Your execution had a sense of improvisation. First, according to the rules of the school, serial killing would be more damning than profitable for the culprit. So what, were you trying to kill 1 person to make your sin lighter? I mentioned this was not meant to be an excuse, but you're saying that as if it is one. However, I have something to say. I'd appreciate it if you listened quietly. Funny you say such a thing. Do you think I'm going to listen to a killer's request? Kinjo, I'm sorry, but try to be quiet. The reason I did this murder is not very relevant to your motives, as you may have guessed, but I'll talk about that later. Inori was always in the infirmary, so she was very easy to target. This probably happened during Tyra's uproar, so most of you were in the dormitory side. I took that gap and kidnapped Inori from the infirmary, moved to the art room on the 3rd floor, that is ballsy, and tried to stab Inori with a plaster weapon. However, that's when he came in and threw me away. Oh my god! Yamaguchi! What a sweetheart! He tried to save her. The one and only Yamaguchi, who I thought was in the dormitory side with you guys. Oh, he died a hero. Inori, and you, so that explains. I'm like, why would he go after Yamaguchi? He never meant to. Uhara, what are you doing? Stop! Why is Uhara doing this? This is not the time for that. I have to take Inori and run away. Oh my goodness! Why is Inori unconscious? Oh no. Before that, I have to get away from Uhara. I have to go and check where everyone is. Oh no, that's so sad. This just makes it so much worse. Did he just go after Inori because she was an easy target, I guess? I didn't want to do this, but you forced me. I can't help it, Yamaguchi. I'm sorry. I didn't hold a grudge nor hatred to both of you. Forgive me. Keep Inori alive. Oh, Oh, I just love him more and more. Oh my goodness. He's basically like, let me be the sacrifice. If you're gonna kill somebody, kill me. Oh. Oh, I love him. It has already been irreversible. I'm sorry. Oh, Inori. Couldn't he have lied? If he was gonna kill Yamaguchi, couldn't he have at least said, like, okay, I'll keep her alive? He couldn't have just lied to her in that moment and made Yamaguchi be like, okay, at least what I did wasn't for nothing. Okay, Yamaguchi just shot up to, like, favorite character, and I'm so sad. I loved Inori too, but oh, that guy was a wonderful person. How many people can run without having a single thought about their own lives to instead save others? Yeah, sounds like he's probably the truly good person here. Then Yamaguchi died because he witnessed it, and you were forced to kill him. Originally, Inori should have been the one to be cut to death with the blaster weapon in the art room. However, because Yamaguchi intervened, I changed the plan in a rush. Now that I hear this, the front and back are starting to fit better. It was especially strange because of Inori Kanada's white coat wiping the blood in the art room. That couldn't be helped, right? When you killed Kakeru Yamaguchi, Kanada Inori, the person he was holding had his blood splattered on her. That's true. Come to think of it, when Uhara said he had a head injury. Oh, the wound was real. Okay. I couldn't remember that. I thought he had just made that up. That was not acting, but being pushed by Yamaguchi. So that's the story. Anyway, you're a serial killer who killed 2 people. That remains the same no matter what you say to anyone. But why did Ohara-kun attempt to murder? I can't even imagine. Are we gonna get... He's probably not gonna give us a good explanation. It's hard to explain. How should I say this? Wait, before that, can I ask something? You, when Tyra's commotion happened, you said you kidnapped Inori. If Tyra didn't have a commotion, what would you have done? I mean, you wouldn't have known that. It would have been difficult to schedule the kidnapping. Why are you asking for this so suddenly, Kurokawa? What are you trying to say? In other words, this is what the woman said. How did you know Tyra's uproar would happen? They knew? Oh, shit. So did she go to, like... Did she go to confess to Ohara because he's a priest and been like, you know, I'm having, like, some suicidal feelings? And did he, like, kind of push her to do that? That's extra evil if that's the case. If you decided to kill, you would have had a plan and executed it in advance. How could they calculate the timing to kidnap Kanada Inori without knowing that everyone was gathered in the dormitory because of Tyra's bustle? Well, I'm not sure what Tyra's situation was in the first place. Oh, so after all that, it was Kurokawa. You seem to have the power to pick words by its very core. It's natural to think like Kurokawa. It would be strange to hear that. The plan looks as if I knew in advance that Tyra would go and make a ruckus. The answer to that's simple. It's because I knew in advance. She did! She confessed to him and he used that against her. How? Are you a psychotherapist? You knew Tyra's mental state and predicted the future? I don't think he's talking about that. I'll listen to this. It's not that big of a mystery. Someone just informed me. Tyra's going to make a fuss soon. There'll be an empty frame for you. Oh! Not anyone could tell you that. You, don't tell me. There's one more thing I have to apologize for doing to you guys. In particular, you, Maeda. I should apologize more than the others. Eh? I am... What? Oh, Oh, Monokuma! He was about to... Is he the one working with the mastermind? It was a very obvious story that the leader from the darkness gave Kinji Uhara intimidation and threats from the shadows and led him that chance to kill a couple of times. Oh, wait, what? So it's not... At first I thought Kinji was going to say he was the one who's, like, working with the mastermind. But somebody's feeding him information? What'd you just say? This is blimey. What are you suddenly interrupting? Huh? Did you not hear me correctly? Then can I say it one more time? Yeah, it was a very obvious story that the leader from the darkness gave Kinji Uhara intimidation and threats from the shadows and led to that chance to kill a couple of times. Uhara-kun, what does that mean? The traitor? Wait, are they saying he is the traitor, or are they saying that the traitor approached him? Anyways, that's the end of the story, so we're done chatting. If you guys continue on and on like this, you'll be dragging again while doing reminiscence scenes or whatever. Wait, you're the traitor, but you got blackmailed? What are you talking about? Even if I'm the traitor, I don't know much. I don't know who the mastermind is, and why the mastermind is doing this to us. However, when we first came here, Monokuma approached me and awoke me before you guys. Oh, they were holding our church's children hostage. They said they'd give me information and would release them if I do what I'm told to do. What in the heavens? Wait a minute. Cathedral children, calm down, speak slowly. The cathedral where I belong to. There's a faculty or facility that takes care of children who have nowhere to go. That's entirely in the hands of Monokuma. So I was threatened under that pretext. Did you really fall for that kind of crap? That was all a bluff from that bear. That was not a bluff. He showed me the video, and I was shown having a conversation with the children myself. What did they ask? What were you instructed to do? Basically, I had a surveillance camera, so I was filming everything that was happening in every blind spot and sent it to the mastermind. Okay. More importantly, if killing were happening between students entered in a stalemate, I'd commit the murder myself. If I didn't comply with this, they said he'd murdered the children instantly. I didn't have a choice. So, did you commit the murder because there was a deadlock after Ayame Hatano? That was the motive? So this time, our motive, it was useless to anyone. If you look at it that way, you may not be able to see anything, but Monokuma in that time said it's the time, so you're instructed to move. It was the time when the announcement of the motive came. In a completely soundproof private room, he showed me the children. If you kill this time, your children will be free. If you don't get caught, you can get out from the school. A fully soundproof room. No wonder. This motive was purely to deliver the orders to Kinji Uhara. You are using the lives of children to threaten Uhara-kun? Was that unfair? Then I'll make it easy for you. Pooh-hoo-hoo. This is not blackmail. I just gave you a choice. If Uhara-kun didn't want to kill, he could have refused. Don't mess with me. You said moments ago that there were threats. Hey, it's a narrative thing. Don't think too deeply. The last time was so rotten because I couldn't let those children die. You guys, I really have no face to show you. Of course I understand to some extent that this was forced upon you, but would you still have to get your hands bloody? Was it that necessary to kill? Do you think those kids want you to be a bloody murderer? Just like kids don't want me to be a killer, I don't want kids to lose their lives. There was only one way. It's enough with just me to fall into hell. You don't want kids to lose their lives? Then are you saying when you kill someone you don't know, like Inori Yamaguchi, they'll lose their lives as well? Inori Yamaguchi also have friends, family. You say that there are some people you don't want them to die? You don't even know the details. You're worried about the children, right? Kinjo's like, fuck damn kids. Strange, Kinjo. My logic shouldn't be any different from yours, but you're getting heated, aren't you? The logic of a killer is the same as mine? What are you talking about? Ooh. Discard prime numbers for the majority. Isn't that what you said? I sacrificed the lives of 15 people and took the precedence over the lives of 100 cathedral children. Oh shit. Just throwing it back at him. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm allowed to commit murder, but Kinjo, you put Makaru, Tamori, and me in danger, the one who went saying the exact same thing. Wouldn't it be necessary to reconsider your stance at least once? Kinjo? And I know too well that I'm an ugly being. It won't be enough to go to the Lord's side, but it's enough to suffer, go to hell and die. But it's fine. Although I will not be able to meet those kids because I won't be able to live. I was able to save their lives with my sacrifice. Well, okay, he turned himself around a little bit, but I like that he's definitely made himself more interesting. He did have a little bit of a freak out there. He looked quite ugly, as he said. Monokuma, you kept your promise? Boo-hoo-hoo, of course. Even though Uhara's crime was revealed and on the verge of being executed, he still murdered as I ordered him to. Since the moment you killed Yamaguchi-kun, the children have already been released. The children, they're safe, right? Oh, are you curious? Do you want to see the proof then? Video, please. He's like, I released them. I didn't say they were safe. As the court's darkened, there's a noise on the screen that appears from somewhere. What it showed was winter in the dark street, less than 4 to 5 years old, mostly looking like elementary school students. It was the bodies of many children. Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, that's fucked up. He's like, I released them. I didn't say that they were safe. Oh, this just got real dark. Some parts had already been corrupted, deformed, and transformed. They were kids whose bones began to appear. A child that's bodies had a broken shape that was unknown to me. Only their small bodies were telling me that they were kids. That's so fucked up to do that right before he's about to be executed. He's gonna lose it again. Hey, did you play the wrong video? Those clothes? Kana, that's Haruki. That hat was from Mitsuki. Uhara? No. Monokuma, how did this happen? You promised. Huh? Promised? Didn't I keep it? I definitely promised to release the kids. Have I ever told you I would let them be? Pooh-hoo-hoo. Uhara, wake up. Scumbag. You, this is inhuman. How could you do this? Because I'm not human, but a bear. And Uhara-kun, don't be so sad. It's been a while since you've been dead anyway. Soon you'll meet them. Meet them? Yes, shouldn't we start soon? Execution time. I'll make you follow your kids, so be patient. Wait a minute, this is too much. I'm sorry, but I don't have much time either. I've got a busy schedule here. Now then, let's get started. I've prepared a very special punishment for Kinji Uhara, the ultimate priest. Let's go with lots of energy. It's punishment time. I think that might be one of the most fucked up things that Monokuma's ever done. That is real dark. Wow. Is he gonna be crucified? I'm trying to think of anything else, right? He's carrying a cross. I'm like, what other thing would be appropriate for, you know, a man of faith? Launch? I don't even know what that says. He's already dead. He's not dead, but like his soul is just like, he's not even reacting. Damn. Oh, is he gonna be sent to send you to heaven? Goodbye. It's just so creepy because there's nothing. He's just dead behind the eyes before he's physically died. He was such a good priest. Adios and amen. Pooh-hoo-hoo. This is unfair. It's really too much. Uhara was killed, like Higa and Hatano, horribly executed. But Uhara didn't stay sane until the end. He couldn't protect the children because he was tricked by Monokuma. In the end, he killed Inori and Yamaguchi for nothing. With all the devastating facts, Uhara's spirit was broken, executed thinking and recalling until the last minute. Kopazing, where are you going? This thing called Monokuma? I won't be satisfied until I beat that thing. If you do that, you'll just die alone. Why don't you stay still? Pooh-hoo-hoo, that's right. If you're angry with me, you can't help it, because it's you guys who did this, and I'm just following the rules. It's not a bad thing. You think you're so smart, Monokuma? Huh? I never intend to sympathize with a killer, but this time, it seems a little different. You always say, I, as the judge, should not participate in the trial, but in this case, you influenced the case itself, let alone the trial. According to Kinji Uhara, they were told Taira would cause a commotion soon. Using that framework, Kinji Uhara was able to carry out the crime with ease. This is not a motivation level or anything like that. This is enough to call you an accomplice. Huh? Is it? Really? So what are you trying to say? What am I saying? That's what this side wants to say. What the hell do you want to do to us? The purpose was to kill us. It would have been possible to annihilate all of us already. If that's not the case, it's also strange they try to kill us by buying a murder, like in the case of Kinji Uhara. There's no sense of purpose in your actions. What the hell are you after, while making us do all this? Hoo-hoo-hoo, Kinjo-kun, you idiots. Where in the world would a mastermind tell you its purpose, saying, yes, this is it? Well, even if I wanted to tell you, it's not worth telling you guys. What do you mean? No big deal, just that I hate you. What? Monokuma, hey. Monokuma, he used to speak and act as usual, suddenly stopped moving, as if it was a ridiculous act. He stiffened on the spot, as if time had stopped. What happened? It suddenly froze up. That's great. Let's just hit it one more time. Please calm down. Guys, let's go. Where are we going? Why so suddenly, Makako-chan? There's no time. I'll explain as we go. Is he about to explode or something? Where are we heading? To the warehouse. Oh. Yeah, Makako's been acting kind of strange this past little bit too, huh? There are secret stairs in the warehouse. But we can't go down anyway, right? Do you want to be honeycombed by that gun? What? Yeah? Makako died! Ah! Wait, what? She seems okay, though. What happened? The machine gun doesn't react at all. I'm not sure, but I guess that means Monokuma was lying. Why don't we do the chores later and go in already? Well, this is interesting. I don't think this was a lie. The machine gun is running properly. But it's not attacking us, right? Hey, occult girl, you said you were going to explain as we go. What the hell is all this? I noticed for a while before the class trial started, but I only noticed it for a second. Now I can say for certain. Monokuma had a power outage. Power outage? While Monokuma was shutting down, all the school's facilities stopped operating. That's why there's no problem with this machine gun. Or like entering the bathroom of the opposite sex and other things. That sounds like paradise? Yeah. Please ignore the pervert and continue explaining. I've been investigating the secret stair since I discovered it. I checked by throwing a barrel, but the machine gun reacted and responded. Wow, so it's safe because Monokuma stopped now. But what happens when Monokuma suddenly starts running? We all together be honeycombed. Eh? However, this crisis is an opportunity. We can finally check what's down here. That's fine and all, but how the hell did you know all this? You know the structure, but more than that, you know how Monokuma operates. What now? You've been so good at talking and acting so far. Oh, we've experienced that already. When will the staircase end? How far are we going down? We're here. Here it is. Is this a dead end rather than a way out? I thought the exit wouldn't come up so easily. Apart from that, this room seems quite interesting. A prison in such a deep underground? Is that it? Wow, you came! Hoo-hoo-hoo, before anything, well done. Monokuma, how did you move? Well, maybe I just pretended to stop. What the heck? Putting that away. What are you talking about? Didn't I tell you? There's a terrifying creature trapped under the staircase. I just disposed of it a while ago. So, if it weren't for me, you guys would have been in a terrible situation at that point. Dispose of it? There's no way. How? Huh? I thought you guys would come here sooner or later, so I transferred it. This is not the only prison here. I don't know what you're talking about, but in the end, you're saying there isn't an escape route here? Escape? Oh, you guys, did you really just come down here hoping for a way out? Sorry, but there's no such thing. You guys are nuts if you think there's a way out. There's no other way other than to kill, so how about you give up on that idea? Ha ha ha. I hate this. I hate it. I don't like to watch killing each other anymore. I want to leave. Let me out of here. No, please, somebody save me. That's it. Become even more desperate. Poo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Makako seems to know a lot more about this, though. What's her deal? We had no choice but to be helplessly beaten by Monokuma. Among the people we had, 2 in an execution. There's no choice but to be in the palm of Monokuma. And we didn't know yet. But the despair was just getting started. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for the end of the class trial, and I'm surprised by how straightforward it was. And I actually, unlike the other Danganronpa games, I think this one was my favorite class trial so far. An unexpected person with kind of like a reason that you can understand, and then that whole thing at the end with the kids being dead anyway, that was really fucked up. Learning that Yamaguchi is even better than I thought he was, and then that whole thing at the end with like the basement and getting down there and discovering that there's nothing down there, there seemed to be nothing down there. Learning that Kinji was the traitor as well. And then there's the person that is in the jail cell who got moved. Like, what's all that about? A lot of questions still to be answered, but overall I really enjoyed that class trial, and I hope you guys did too. So stay tuned next week for part 12 and the continuation of Danganronpa with chapter 4. Hope you guys enjoyed, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Emily Hornsby, Lady of Eternity, Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Jared Fan, Harry Gazif, Icognito, and Zoran Ether.